to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for August the 22nd through September the 2nd. Look, before I go any further, I'm hoping that you will be watching this on Sunday, preferably before 5:30 p.m. because I'm organizing, and of course if you are in New York, I'm organizing a beach cleanup, and I would love it if you would join us. It's so much fun. The kids really get into it. They talk about it. They talk about it at school. They really they're asking questions, and it's a really wonderful example to set for your children, and we have a blast when we do it. So I'll bring the rubber gloves and the trash and recycle bags, and I'll see you on the boardwalk in Coney Island across from Nathan's. So please come if you're in the area, and we'll get a chance to hang out and clean the beach. First of all, thank you so much for all the likes, shares, comments, and there were so many comments. I really appreciate you guys. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing and subscribing. If you're new, welcome. I really hope that you stay around and you enjoy the readings and that you'll come back. And if you're returning, thank you so much. I love you guys hanging in there. These are general readings, guys. If you would like a personal reading, you can click on this link right here. You can also check me out on Patreon. It's another way to support me, and I have posts there just for patrons, and there are reward levels. So check it out. You know, it's a way to give back, and that link's right here too. So now, let's go to the astrological report, shall we, for this week. Now, on the 27th, Monday, Mars has been backtracking. It's been in retrograde. And on Monday, it kind of what we call stations direct. It's where Mars has been really slowing down, and it's coming to a halt on Monday. Now, when a planet slows down, and particularly Mars is one of our it's one of our personal planets, what they call a personal planet, because it's closer to the Earth, and actually you can see it in the sky at night. So if you look out up at night, you can see it. I was looking at it last night. So it's close to the moon, and you'll see it's got a red hue, or depending on where you are, it looked a bit yellow from here. Or the pollution in New York City. Anyway, so look up at the sky and you'll be able to see Mars. Now, as it slows down, and particularly when it comes to a stop, the elements and the energy of that planet is enhanced, if you will. It's magnified. So we could be irritated. We might want to lash out at somebody verbally, and some people maybe physically. So it is a really good time to meditate, to kind of think before you react, to understand what's going on so you get it. It's really important to remain calm within the storm. Now, on Tuesday, it starts to move forward. So things are going to pick up for us. I mean, not initially, because it takes a while for Mars to get going. It's a big planet, and it's got to get going in that direction. But now things can go forward because Mercury's out of retrograde, and it's out of its shadow period now. So that's going straight ahead. So I think that this week we'll start to be a little more inspired to get things done. We'll start to feel like things are starting to pick up. Maybe it's been a bit slow over the last few weeks. People go on vacations too in August. And we're getting ready to come up to, Memorial Day. So it's the last holiday, really, before the kids go back to school. So people will be busy preparing for that. And we'll feel like there's a trajectory going forward. So that's all I have to say, really, for the astrological report this week. Of course, the moon does lots of things. It changes signs basically every two and a half days. So there's a lot going on with that, but there's too much. They're little aspects, and it's so temporary, the energies from that. It's, unless it's a full moon or a new moon, it's not really worth discussing. Anyway, so let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your reading for August the 27th through September the 2nd. And the first card out for you is the Five of Cups. It's interesting. I'm looking at your reading right now, Taurus, and I'm seeing like these very juxtaposed cards. It's almost like this week will have opposing energies and forces going on all week. So anyway, let me go forward. The Five of Cups. This is when you're focusing on all the negative aspects of your life. You're kind of in that spiral. My son's a Taurus, and he can be really positive and grounded and wonderful, but he has these moments where he just goes into the spiral of negativity, thinking about negative things and looking at the glass as half full as opposed to half empty. She's this mermaid, and she's got 3 broken glasses and then 2 that are totally right there, which are fine. But she is in disappointment and perhaps regret. This card is affectionately known as crying over spilt milk. And one day I said that, and somebody went ballistic on me, saying that I was, I'm being flippant by saying that. I'm paraphrasing, but but that's what this card in traditional tarot is meant. It's like crying over spilt milk. It's seeing your cup as half full, half empty, as opposed to half full. So I always say when this comes in to, look, it's very hard sometimes. It's so easy to look on things that aren't working out or haven't worked out. Or something that's not repairable, that's broken, but it's about focusing on what you have. It's about being grateful for that instead of focusing on what hasn't worked out. And look, clarifying it, you have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is this gregarious, charismatic, charming, leader that's out there, and he is, he's having fun. So this really is about coming out of this depression, regret, and focusing on your cup as half empty, and coming into this passionate place of looking at what's really working for you, Taurus. I'm really getting that. This is also, look, this guy's very passionate. He's very charming. He's, as I said before, people are drawn to him. They love him. But if he gets upset, he has to work very hard to control his temper and to keep his emotions at bay. And it's funny because then you do have cups, which is about emotions, right? So this is about self-control of your emotions. It's about reining it in. It's about not reacting. It's about responding. It's about being kinder, softer, and focusing on the positive. Now, the next card you have is the Page of Wands. Darling, this is about good news, right? This is about news coming in that's, affluent. This is somebody that's coming in with a great message or an opportunity for you, right? Now, what's interesting is the Page of Swords, right? The Page of Swords is clarifying the Page of Wands, which is about a message. It's also about not reacting. It's also about using kinder language. So, look, it's not surprising because Mars is going direct, but it's stationing it's stationing before it goes direct. So it's stopping, it's coming to a standstill. And when it goes forward, it's still kind of moving forward slowly. So the energies of that planet are really magnified. And that can mean that you could get very irritated with people. You could, react cruelly with harsh language. So this is saying hold off on that kind of reactionary urge, if you will. And there are opportunities here, so you really need to see them. Now, the next card you have is the Moon. The Moon is the gift of intuition and psychic abilities, right? And this is saying you really need to focus on that. The Moon will shine a light if you look for it. Don't be afraid of the shadows, darling. Look into the shadows. Look into that. Look at the truth in a situation. Because the Ten of Swords is right next to it, right? And the Ten of Swords is like betrayal. Right? This is like betrayal at work, being stabbed in the back. And you're not seeing it coming because you're not going with your gut feeling. It's like being involved in a group of people that don't have your best interest at heart. It's by being led into a group of people that's they haven't got your back. So if you're not if you're not in tune with your gut feeling this week, you could be in serious trouble. You could, negative things can happen if you're not careful. You need to, look, your gut feeling is going to say, get out of this situation, right? And move on. But if you don't, then, you could end up really being hurt and betrayed. Trust in your intuition, Taurus, this week in particular. You've got that gift. Use it. Don't ignore your gut feeling. It's so easy in 2020 hindsight saying, my gut feeling told me that wasn't right. Well, guess what? You were right. The gut feeling is right. So the Moon is telling you, look at the shadows. Look at the truth in the situation. See something for what it is so that you can avoid that pitfall. And clarifying it is the Ten of Cups, which is all your needs being met. This is saying focus on your family, focus on what you have, focus on the love. Give your attention to your family and your loved ones. They're the ones that deserve it. Take it away from this betraying group where you're not appreciated. This is where you're appreciated, and that's where you need to put your attention and your focus. Taurus, focus on the ones that have shown you love, and you will feel it. But definitely, I hope you're looking at this at the beginning of the week. You really need to focus on your gut feeling. Your intuition is enhanced. Don't ignore it. Look at the truth in the situation. Don't be afraid to look at the shadows. Focus on what's working. Focus on that. Be in gratitude, and be kind and soft in your communication. Taurus, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, and comment. I really love comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. For a personal reading with Mary, go to www.liveinthesolution.com.